Okay, we're live now. Hello, everyone, and welcome to Supercharge Sunday and Happy Valentine's Day.
Happy
With me,
Valentine's Day.
yes, welcome to our very special guest, Penny Love, joining me, Emily Mchugh, your Supercharge host, and we're so excited to celebrate love today, everybody. It's all about the love. So I'm going to take a moment to share. So I'm shared on the going live right now on my Facebook page, Emily the Entrepreneur, going live on Supercharge with Emily Facebook group. And Penny, where do you want to go live? I don't know where you're
Ah,
sharing so people can follow you.
I will share it in my group.
Okay,
If
very good. I'm going to
I
also do this on to.
here. Oh wow, look, it's popped up on my screen straight away. Is it because you tagged me?
Yes, I can tag you. Let me see. Here we go with
Okay, so
at
here I'll
Penny.
share it. Oh, I can share it in
Is
lots
it
of
coming up?
platforms.
Okay. Let's
Share
see.
now.
Oh, is that working? Let's see. All right, let me just hit that. At all right, everybody, just bear with us while we get ourselves all situated. Boom. All right, so you should see me over. Welcome, all of you watching. Please definitely write in the chat any questions, any thoughts, so we can engage with you. And look forward to your feedback. And if I'm not able to see it all while we're talking, we'll try. But anyway, so today our special guest Penny Love is coming to us all the way from London, England, because we have international superchargers, and I've known Penny now for over a year or so, meeting through Abby Cornell's group, and Penny is just amazing because she's the love queen. She is the love queen. So to celebrate St. Valentine's, I thought it'd be wonderful to invite her to come on. She's one of our superchargers and she's supercharging love. So Penny, welcome again from the UK.
Thank you. Thank you for having me. I'm really happy to be here. I'm really excited.
Yes, it's very exciting. So Penny, give us a little bit about your background, where you're coming from, how you even got into becoming a love coach.
Oh gosh. Well, you're never gonna believe this, but well, I'm actually from originally from Spain, so that's the accent that you hear. But I live in London for over 20 years now, and I was here in London working, like the mouse wheel, just working. And suddenly it's like I hit 40, and I was single. I was working, and nothing to show for it,
Hmm.
and I was very unhappy. And I was like, well, okay, so what do I want? It never even, I was so busy working, it never even occurred to me that I needed to like plan for what I wanted. Or I was so worried paying the bills. Living in
Mhm,
London, it's so
mhm,
expensive. And I obviously, I like to buy nice clothes and go out and have fun. I'm very extroverted, so for me, going out and seeing my friends was like a priority. Then you're like too tired, go back to work. And so it was like, well, okay, well, let's start dating. I had no idea how to date. It was just like a disappointment after a disappointment. And I was like, well, I don't like to blow my own trumpet, but I'm not an ugly girl. I am amazing. I'm fantastic. I'm super friendly. I'm super extroverted. I talk to everyone. And but something, it was just not working out.
mhm,
And I was just dating without any strategy. I just thought, well, I'm just gonna show up and everybody's gonna be in love with me. And obviously, when it wasn't like that, it was really disappointing. And some random girl at work that I don't even see anymore. This girl doesn't work with me anymore, so I can't even like go find her and say thank you to her. She said, well, you need a strategy. You need to like um find it like a dating book and follow what they say. And I was like, a dating book? There is a dating book? I didn't know there was a dating book. Like I seriously, like, all this self-help thing for me was like a strange foreign world. So she just gave me like random couple of books. And one of the books she gave me was one called The Rules for Dating,
Mm.
which is written by two American ladies, Ellen Fine and Sherry Snyder. And this book, I wasn't going to invest too much in these books when she told me about it, because I really thought that this was like for losers. Yeah, I
Oh
was
no.
good for my own good. I wasn't gonna. So I think I can never remember if I paid 27 pennies or 47 pennies or something really ridiculous. And then the book was it was from Amazon Market, secondhand. This book took a month to arrive. When it arrived, I started reading it, thinking this is gonna be crap. And I could not put it down. I stayed up all night and I was like, this is me. The woman in this book, it's me. And, I fell in love with the rules. I started doing the rules and my dating life completely changed. But not only my dating life, everything about my life changed. Because the philosophy of this book goes beyond, it's not only, it teaches you how to be in your feminine energy, it teaches you boundaries, which was a foreign word for me, having boundaries.
Ah, having boundaries. Okay.
Like, I have no boundaries, I'm an empath. So I didn't know this at the time, that I was an empath. And then when I found out, well, maybe I'm an empath, I thought, well, that's impossible, because the more I read about it, all empaths are very timid, introverted people. So I thought, no, I got this wrong. I am not an empath. Then later on, I found out through a lot of self work and a lot of self discovery, the rules make you do this. So it makes you go inwards and look at your life from the inside. So then I found out I am a extroverted empath, which is quite rare. And then I found through Abby Cornell as well, I found this lady who is an extroverted empath coach.
Oh.
Well, so I got a lot of support from her to really help me further my boundaries as well, with a coaching program that she's got. And then by the time I hired a rules coach, because I found everything really difficult for me to do. And it's because I'm an empath, I'm extroverted. So it was really difficult for me to follow the rules, have boundaries, and all this. And by the time I finished, my rules coach said, you should quit your job, which you hate and is not taking you anywhere, and become a coach. And I laughed so hard. I was like, because I thought, how is it possible? I know nothing about this. But by the time I was done, I knew more than any other rules coach, actually. So then I thought, well, I'm not going to be just a rules coach, and I'm going to become a life coach. So now what I've done is that I ended up being a love coach, but the rules, it's my, the center core of my philosophy, which is, lean back, be in your feminine energy. You have the power. You are the gift. You are the prize, not the guy. Before doing all this, I was dating and I was putting the guys in the pedestal. So like, they were the prize, they were the hot goods, like the patriarchy teaches us, basically. So I was all wrong, and this is the way, my mom and everybody around me did it, without knowledge of it. Everybody unconsciously do it. This is the way that they teach us in the movies as well, in the media, in the TV adverts, in the rom-coms, right? On Friends, Sex in the City, right? Carrie always put Mr. Big in the pedestal, and she chases him for 10 years. And yeah, she got him, but she was like, she spent her whole life chasing him. And obviously that in real life wouldn't have happened. I was very disappointed to learn this. In real life, you chase the guy for 10 years, you stay single, the guy, will never value you
Mm-hmm.
because
That's
you are
so
pushing
much,
yourself.
Penny. That is really, really quite tremendous because for most people, it's like the idea of being a love coach or focusing on this area. People wouldn't even automatically come to their mind, well, I need to go and get a love coach. So how did people even know to find you or look for you or know that you were there to offer the services that you do?
Well, I'm on Facebook, I'm on Instagram. I'm just recently on LinkedIn, although I don't know what I'm doing over there just yet. I'm still finding my feet over there. But especially I'm on Facebook. I have a Facebook group which is free for anyone who's single and is a girl and wants to date. And your priority, well, no, I wouldn't say your priority, but you really want love and romance. But like the nice love and romance.
What's the name of your book? Tell us the name of your book. Not book, your
Group
group,
is
Penny.
that Shine On with Penny Love, Dating and Relationships group. I
So,
will,
okay, we'll put the link so people can
I'll
find.
put the link to find it because it's quite a mouthful.
Hmm.
And
I
I have a love school, which is a paid membership for girls where there is a theme, love related theme every month. So obviously this month we've done Valentine's. Last month we did how to become a high value feminine goddess, so all the basics. And we touch law of attraction a little bit. We touch feminine energy in particular, and obviously with the core is the rules. Most dating coaches will not tell you what to do.
hmm
You figure it out on your own. But what happens is when you are an empath, you will not figure it out because you will never think of the malice of other people. So it just would never occur to you. It's just something unfigurable for you as an empath because you just don't have it in you to do what men will do to women.
So why don't you
So you
define empath for us, for those who may not fully follow what empath really means? What
and
what what does?
empath is most women are mainly empathetic. It's very easy for us to be empathetic. Men are less empathetic, not that they cannot feel empathy, but they are less empathetic than women. We're very in touch with our emotions, and it's when we overfeel things, we are very much in touch with our emotions. For me it's very easy to put myself in your shoes, and I will feel with you. I will feel your sadness. I will feel your grief. And
Mm-hmm.
I will really get you. It will be, even though that I've not gone through what you've gone through,
Right.
for us empaths, it's just really easy for us. And, there is a different type of empaths. There are emotional. I'm an emotional empath, for example. Some other girls might be, there is nature empaths, like there's these women that touch a tree and will feel everything that has happened to the tree and things like that. These are very in touch with your intuition, very much in touch with your emotions. And of course, when I was like on the mass wheel, working, I never even realized that I was like this. I know that I was sensitive,
Mm-hmm.
and I always just thought there is something wrong with me, but I never thought that this was the reason until, of course, I started to read into it, and of
Mm-hmm.
course,
Oh,
finding
we
men.
have we have Penny. We have a comment here in Facebook. Sophia's
Oh,
asking. She says she can relate to your journey as an empath. I was considered for a long time to be a social introvert. Would you consider that to be equivalent to the empath extrovert, being a social introvert?
a social introvert. No, I uh, what I'm an extroverted empath, so I love being with people. I gain my energy from people. Like talking to you already energizes me, and but I will be very easily drained because I
Mhm.
will give you my all
Right.
because I have no boundaries. I have no emotional boundaries. So your energy will drain, the other person will absorb all of your energy. So
Hmm.
this is why it's so important for us empaths to have, not only empaths, for everybody to have boundaries. But empaths are, it's harder for us to know where the boundaries are, where my emotions end and your emotions begin. You know,
Right.
all becomes a bit, it becomes a bit of a blur. I can also absorb your sadness,
Hmm.
you know. So right now I've learned, you know, how to make boundaries, how to protect my energy. So I become very good at that now. But yeah.
Well,
But
that's a
you
really,
don't need an empath to empathize with me, because
yeah.
we are all empathetic beings, women in general. Some
Yeah.
more than others, you know. So I'm more in the more heavy empathic spectrum, and there is you know, the opposite of an empath would be a narcissistic person.
Mm, mm, mm,
The narcissist is not capable to feel any empathy for anyone.
mm,
They
mm,
have to
mm.
fake it to go through life.
Oh,
So to put it in the just to give you an idea what it's
right.
like.
The extremes, one extreme to the other. So
Yeah.
Penny, let us dive into these tips that you have, because I know that you are here to like help us all who need help, your help. So you have
These are
some
not
top
these are
tips
not
to help people achieve the relationship of their dreams. Hello. So Penny, do share, how do we do that?
I've written some notes, so I've got 5 tips for all of you, and then I'm gonna give you 5 why yes, why not these tips. So there is a method to the madness, because
Very good.
are gonna be some of you are gonna be like, duh, I know that, but some of you, you know, like for example, Sophia, who's watching and feels very much she can really empathize with me because she's also an extroverted empath. She's gonna be shocked probably, unless
Ooh,
she's also reading. So
okay. Don't shock us too much.
I will explain. Okay, so my tip number 1 for all of you is love your first. Love yourself first. Okay, this is very important. For
Yeah.
women, we are so nice, aren't we? We care for everyone. And we always put in our children first, our job first, our bosses first, our neighbors first, our best friends first, our mothers first, our sisters.
Mm.
Okay. And this just doesn't work, because when you do this, have you watched the movie, the, what's it called? The Holiday with Cameron Diaz?
I don't think so.
Yeah, so it's like a famous Christmas
I
movie.
think I may have heard of it, but I don't remember it too well right now.
She is Cameron Diaz and was the British actress from Titanic. What's her name?
I'm the
Titanic.
wrong person to ask.
Okay, well,
Oh,
Google if you're
Kate
watching.
with Kate
If you're
something. Kate,
watching and you know the actress that I mean, post it on the comments and remind me. I always do this, and the girls, they always save me. Right. So there is a scene in the movie where she's telling him, this older guy neighbor, what a terrible her life is and her dating life, and how she's wasted all these years um, uh, being in love with this guy that doesn't care about her. And he said, you are being the best friend on the movie, and this is your life. In your movie of your life, you need to be the main actress.
Mhm.
So you need to treat yourself and your life like you are the main actress of your own life. You can be the best friend on your best friend's movie, but on your movie, which is your life, you need to be the main actress, and you need to treat yourself like a main actress, and everybody else around you in your movie are secondary actors, they're cameos,
Mhm.
right? So
Yes.
it's very important. And for us women, it's like, oh, what, I have to put myself first, but that's selfish. But that's
Mm-hmm.
not selfish, that's just, you know, human nature. You have to take care of yourself first, because you can't go in life assuming that people are going to take care of you.
Mm-hmm.
Nobody else is going to put you first in life
Mm-hmm.
if you don't consider yourself important enough to be first. So this is very important in dating, in your professional relationships, in your family. If you have a large family, you can't just go around taking care of everyone. You need to take care of you. You are number one. And when you are married as well, there is all these marriages that go down because the woman stop taking care of herself. Then everything else takes over. The husband takes over, the children take over, other careers take over, until she shrivels up and becomes the carcass of a person. So
Mm.
it's important that we always put ourselves first, with lots of love, lots of self-love, lots of self-care, keeping a positive commentary at all times in the background of your, you know, in your mind, just like, yes girl, you can do it, you look beautiful, yes you look good, instead of saying, oh my god, here and here and here and here and here, and right. So you go like, oh, your skin looks oh look, your hair looks so shiny. You know, give yourself the positive
Some credit.
encouragement and have this running in the background all day. And we know, I learned a lot about this having my own business as well, Emily. I'm sure you teach this as well. You know, as an entrepreneur, you are, you know, you are the center of the world. You have to treat your business like you are the best coach, you are the best businesswoman. And if you don't do it, then your followers will not trust you. They will not buy from you. They'll think you're not good enough.
Mm-hmm.
So when you think that you are good enough, everybody else will feel it and say, yeah, she can help me. She knows what she's doing. She looks
Yes.
super confident. So it translates in all fields in your life, in your relationships. When you got it, your friends will trust you more. You'll be a better friend, right? And what
Absolutely.
else?
That's absolutely important.
Yeah, lots of self-love. Treat yourself really good. Also, it having lots of self-love, it helps you be in your feminine energy. We are, obviously, you are in your business, you're in your masculine energy, you're slaying dragons, you're killing it, okay, and that's fantastic. But when we finish work, it's very important that we lean back in our feminine. I would say, right, so now I am a human being, I am a feminine being, you know, so that you can balance the scales. If you are 100% on your masculine energy all the
Mm-hmm.
time, it's just not natural.
But you know, Penny, let me ask you a question. We say that like running a business and all this is in your masculine energy. Why should it be considered masculine energy to run a business traditionally?
Because, right, so when you are in your feminine being, you are being. When you are in your masculine, you are doing. So work is masculine in
Mm-hmm.
nature, because it's, you are not just, oh, I'm beautiful. No, you are working, you're meaning business, you're telling people what to do, you are helping people, your energy is going outwards, right? When you are in your feminine and you are in your being, your energy is with you, it's going inwards.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So if you're taking care of children, when you are being a mother, although being a mother is a feminine characteristic, the mothering act is also masculine, because you're not taking care of you, you're taking care of your children.
Interesting. Very
Right. So
interesting.
everything that it's being,
Mm-hmm.
you know, I am calm, I am, right? So that's being in your feminine. You are lean back, you're taking
Mm-hmm.
care of you, and your energy is directed inwards towards yourself. And doing, that's masculine, when you are directing the energy on others. How can I help you today? Right? But we are very lucky that as entrepreneurs, our business is also very creative, Emily. and we'll look at you, at your background, how you spend your day being in your family, in your feminine, creating this beautiful graphic. So that's very feminine, because everything about creation, it's feminine. We are the force of life. We create life. So creation, being in your creative juices, is very feminine as well. And it just fuels our hearts normally as women. So anything to do with your feminine is gonna lead to self-love. It's gonna balance the scales. We can't be too feminine, we can't be too masculine. We need to balance ourselves out. But because we are out there, we work all day. We up in the morning and we're go, go, go. We're driving places, we see people, we're taking care of people, taking care of the house, taking care of the business. So especially for women, for busy women, it's especially important that you lean in your feminine to create balance.
Mm.
And this balance will lead you to be happier, because if you take care of yourself, you will be a happier person, because you will not feel drained, stressed, you will not
Yes,
feel out of sorts and all that. And
absolutely.
be super, we always very kind and compassionate towards people. Be very kind and compassionate towards yourself, especially all women in general, especially empaths, because we always taking care of people. You need to afford yourself the same luxury of being very compassionate towards yourself, being very kind and very gentle. Don't punish yourself, and be your best friend.
So that would be our number one, the
Number
loving yourself
one, this is
first.
very important.
Yeah.
This, how does this translate to your dating life? So if you show up on a date and your glass is full, your cup is full because you've been taking care of yourself, you feel amazing, you feel relaxed, you feel balanced. You're not gonna have to put a fake smile. You're gonna be naturally smiling because you are happy, you have a reason to smile, you had an amazing day, you took care of yourself. If you've been all day taking care of everybody else and then you go on a date, you have nothing to give to the other person, not even
Mm.
a smile. You're probably like too much in your head thinking of all the stresses and problems, and this was very much me once upon a time. So I'm giving you the tips that I felt that were like for me when I learned.
Excellent. Very good. I'm taking notes.
Take notes, girls. Right. So tip number two. So tip number two is going to be let him lead. When you are dating, let the guy lead.
Mm.
Have
Hmm.
you heard this before, Emily?
Kind of, but I'm sure you have a spin that I can't wait to hear.
Oh, we have lots of comments. We need to
Yeah,
go
we'll
and
get
check
to
them
them for
out.
sure. Hmm.
But okay, so let the guy lead, and especially for busy professional women that are out there and they are like killing it. They go getters. They see that and was like, well, that's gonna be mine, and they go and take action and they go get it. They normally think that they can go date and it works out the same way, but it doesn't work the same way, because men, masculine energy, healthy men, they hate that. They
Mm.
like to be in control. They like
Mm.
to be the guy. They like to call the shots.
Hmm.
Okay. So when you are leaning back and letting him lead, it doesn't mean that you're going to become a doormat. It
Mm.
just means that, remember when I was telling you, be self-loving, lean back into your feminine? This is your time. Lean back into your feminine and let him lead. So,
Mm-hmm.
for example, if you are dating and you are on a dating site, you don't go like, oh, I like him, I like him, I like him. Well, yes, actually, you pick the ones you like. But pick the ones you like from the ones that have already liked you first and message you first. Because if you like the guy first, the guy will automatically think, oh, she likes me. And like, we would never be so conceited to think, oh well, he wants me, he liked me, oh, he, done deal. Guys think like that. They'll think, oh, she's done deal. And also, it will not matter. For example, guys are very visual, which I'll explain more about this in a minute. Guys are very visual, and maybe he likes tall blondes, right? Blue eyes. And I go and like the guy. He'll think, oh, she's done deal. And he'll date me until he gets bored of me, until a tall blonde comes along. Because when you give things to guys on a silver tray, they can't say no. Right? Because it's like illegal for them to say no. You are offering them. And to them, the guys are sex orientated, they're not relationship orientated. So he's gonna be thinking like, oh, I'm getting lucky tonight.
Penny, hold on, one interjection. We have an intriguing comment from Sophia. She says the flower does not chase the bee.
Exactly.
So that's
Sophia, she's
amazing.
one of my girls. She knows what she's talking about.
Flower does not chase the bee. Penny, I have to say that for me personally, I when it comes to this topic, I know we live in a time where people have all kinds of mores that they subscribe to and so forth. But for me, I definitely come from a very Christian orientation. And so I do not believe in this kind of wild, wanton sexual activity that people tend to just,
Well,
to do after being married, and then they just go ahead and think it's a game. And I totally am very against that personally. So
yes, so you will be very much aligned with my philosophy, lean back, because guys, even the nice Christian ones, their priority is sex, because it's a guy thing, it's not a religion thing, it's not a bad person. Just because they want sex doesn't make them bad people. It's just the way they were made, right? So their priority is like, like, if you think of the male anatomy, they can produce, I don't know how many million of a sperm per second, but we only produce one egg per month. So they have it in the DNA that their purpose in life is to procreate. Obviously,
populate the world. Okay.
On you, they are not thinking of procreating, but this is how they are wired, right? So when you like them first, then you are putting yourself in this quite precarious situation where he might just use you, but he doesn't even like you. You're not even his type. And he might date you, and if he's a feminine guy that is too lazy to go get it himself, he'll probably date you forever, but he will never love you truly deeply. He will never propose to you, because you are not his dream girl. So basically, you are wasting all this time with this guy that doesn't think of you as a priority. You're not his dream girl. You are making him your whole life, but you are nothing. You're just like, guys don't have a clock, so they don't care about wasting time. For us, time is very important. We have an internal clock, right? We have our menstrual cycle is our clock. We have expiry date, right? So there is a certain time where we can no longer procreate, right? And guys, they don't have this ticking bomb in their head like we do. So they're like perfectly fine wasting your whole life. There is all these women that they date guys, they move in together, they spend 20 years together, and then they're under 50s, and guys go out for a drink one day with their friends and meet their dream girl. He'll quickly dump the girl that has devoted her life to him, and he'll quickly move on with his dream girl. And Also, there is all these girls that they date the same guy for years, and suddenly he breaks up with her, and he never proposed to the girl, and 3 months later he's engaged to somebody else. We all seen it happening. When guys know, they know it's very fast, and they will take action because it's in their DNA to take action. There's all these girls dating guys. Oh, but he's shy. No, even shy guys will take action. When they see the one, they'll take the risk and they'll take action. If the guy is looking at you but is not asking you out, you are fine. Move on to the next. You want a guy that will ask you out. You want a guy that is brave enough because you yourself, you're a go-getter, right? So you want a guy that matches your energy. You don't want a guy with a guy that is horizontal. You don't want to be calling the shots in the marriage. You don't want to be wearing the trousers. Well, you have to take care of the house, the business, the children, and everything, and wear the trousers on top. But what do we need a guy for? So leave this to him, and also save your heart and save all your beautiful years, because they will use your beauty as well. Guys, they love beauty and youth. So they are perfectly fine wasting all your beautiful young years. And then when you are too old, they'll move on to the next. And then they go for a 10-year, for a girl 10 years younger than you.
And I have to say that if any guys or men watch this at some point, whether it's a replay or whatever, I would love to hear your thoughts. If you
I would love to hear
concur with what Penny's saying, or
yeah, right.
yeah,
Right, I will.
So please don't feel shy. We want to hear from your side to kind of balance out this discussion. But Penny, I really appreciate what you're saying. So please go ahead. So that was number 2. Let him lead. So let him do what he needs to do.
Right. So what does letting him lead look like? So
Right.
for example, like I was saying, if you are on a dating site, don't go messaging all the guys. Oh, hi. No, wait until they message you. For example, if you are on Tinder, right, you wait until he likes you, which you can do if you upgrade, for example. Then you will see all your likes. Then your dating pool would be the men that have already liked you. They like the way you look. They like your aura. Men are very visual. I'll go into that in a minute. So they will know straight away. And so let them approach you first. If you are in a nightclub, if you are in the pub, don't go talking to all of the guys. Wait till they come to you. And lean back. Also, don't ask them out. Wait till he asks you out. It says a lot as well about the guy. If he can't even ask a girl out, is he gonna get the job that he wants? Is he gonna get that promotion? Is he gonna take his business off the ground? Right? It says a lot about the personality of the guy. If he can't ask the girl out, he's maybe not the one for you, or maybe you are not his type. You are not all he wants in a woman. So you are saving yourself so much trouble. Okay. So let him ask you out when you are on dates. Let him lead. Let him plan the date. Let him pick the restaurant. Let him, plan the date. Let him tell you when and what time, and let him pin you down for the date. Don't be helping him plan the day. Don't be picking the restaurant. Don't help him. Don't give him ideas. See what he can do on his own. Before I did the rules, I will explain to you the difference of what it looks like, you planning your date or him planning the date. So before I learned all of this, I was like everyone else. So I was going out dating. The guy will ask me out, and the guy will say like, where do you want to go? And I'll say, oh, I know this path that it's amazing, right? And the guy was like, okay. And he just like comes along, to your date. Then you go home and you think, oh my God, he took me to an amazing place. No, he didn't. You took him to an amazing place. You had an amazing date because you planned the date. You gave yourself an amazing date. And that, for example, now that I'm back in my feminine energy, where he says, when he says, well, where do you want to go? You'll say, well, anything you pick, it'll be, I think anything you pick will be great. So this shows that you trust him, shows that you got a lot of faith in them, and men love this to begin with, okay? And then you are passing on the baton, you are giving him the power. So you could end up in that cute little pup that, you know, you take all your dates, or he could take you to a much nicer date. So before, I would end up going to my local Starbucks for a coffee with guys. When I passed the button and I let the guy lead, he took me for tea to a super nice hotel, and we had high tea with little stuff, you know, like the English tea with all the,
Oh yeah, I
and we
know
went,
too well.
you know, I got to dress up. It was a beautiful venue. And that, like, this is what guys do when they like the girl.
To get Claridge's.
And well, this place was like local to me, and I
Mhm.
didn't even know that it existed. So he picked a place that it was easy for me to get to, and it was like he wanted to impress me, because when
Yeah.
they like you, they want to impress you, and a guy, it will give you a far much nicer date that you would plan for yourself, because when they like you, they think the world of you. They'll think more than you think of yourself. So it's totally worth a try. If you never try leaning back, let him lead, see what he come up with. He might surprise you.
That's a really, as and especially, Tanya, I think it's a really powerful tip, because especially now, as you said, as entrepreneurs, you're in your business, you spend your whole day going after things. You don't wait for things to come to you. You have
Mm-hmm.
to go get it. You have to pick up the phone. You have to call the clients. You have to really be
Exactly.
very proactive. And as a matter of fact, that's the
Exactly.
whole thing, learning to be proactive. But what you're saying is you're not. So it's very out of character for someone who is not accustomed to that. And you think like, oh well, he doesn't know what he's doing anyway, so I'm gonna. But as you said, it's a cardinal sin to do that. It's a big mistake, because you're disempowering someone who really wants to show you something higher than what you even can see for yourself, which I
Yes.
think is great, amazing insight.
And it also gives you a very powerful, you get a really powerful view of what he's like, what he's prepared to do with you, how much he likes you, because you are in your feminine, allowing energy. He can step
Mm.
up and be his own man, and he will feel empowered to do that. And you really want to give him that gift, because it will make him very happy. It will make him feel really powerful and masculine, and it will make you feel beautiful, loved, cherished, taken care of. And which woman doesn't love that?
And you know what? That's really fantastic, because it's like when you give someone a gift and they'll say, "Oh, you shouldn't have." I mean, never ever say that. And it's the equivalent of this, right? You should just say thank you. I appreciate it.
Thank you. This is fantastic. I can't believe, like,
Right.
there will be a lot of girls watching this that didn't get a Valentine's gift. This Valentine's. All my girls get Valentine gifts, but not only Valentine gifts, they get romantic gifts, and they get expensive gifts, because I teach my girls to say thank you when they get a gift, and never say, oh, you shouldn't have, or you shouldn't have spent this much on you. Who are you to tell another person what to do?
Right.
Right? This is another thing about let him lead. Don't tell him what to do. If he wants to take you to an expensive restaurant, let him just dress up and show up and enjoy yourself.
Yeah.
And
Absolutely.
let him, and this is very Christian as well, because you are not, you are also thinking of him, because he's also in the relationship. It's not only you in the relationship, right? So this is the Christian way. You are lean back in your feminine energy, and you let him lead, and you both win. If you are both in your masculine, then it'll be like two rams fighting. You're
Yes. Right.
competing to be the winner, the know-it-all, the stronger, the most intelligent, the most. Let him be the most everything, and you just enjoy the ride.
Let him spend his money.
Yeah, let him spend his money, let him romance you, let him write you letters, let him call you 10 times a day. You don't need to call him. This is another thing about letting him lead. Don't call him, don't text him, let him do all the calling. And you just pick up the phone. At the same time, you do not wait by the phone for him. Okay, you're too busy dating others until he pins you down and asks you to be in a serious relationship with him. And then continue to never calling him. He will call you. And he will probably call you more times than if you take the initiative in the communications of the relationship. He might call you more times than if you take the lead in the communications of the relationship. You know, you might call him twice a day and think, oh, he never thinking of me, he's always too busy. But if you let him lead, he might call you 10 times. You always feel taken care of, you always feel loved, you always feel like he's thinking of you, because he's all the time thinking, what's she up to? He'll be wondering, and you will appear very mysterious and lean back and in your feminine, and this will attract his masculine energy towards you. And this is not being mean. You do not call him because you are a mean bitch. This is very important. You do not call him because you are too busy with your own life. And if he wants your attention, he needs to come and grab it. To prove to you that you are that important so that you follow. Okay, so this is not like you're punishing him or anything. When he does call you, you are going to pick up and you're going to be lovely. You're going to be your beautiful, warm, lovely self. And you're going to be very grateful that he called you. And when he calls you, he's going to call you because he knows you are busy. He's going to call you to plan the date, ask you, what do you like to eat? What's your favorite dish? Where do you want to go on Saturday? No, how are you? This is a passive man that is not interested in you, will call you and say, how are you? What are you doing? None of your business. What, you calling me to do anything? You know? No. So don't, when he texts you as well, what are you doing? All that, ignore. If he's taking action, planning your next date, then you can reply. And yes, don't also, because this is another mistake from go-getters, letting him lead looks like, don't try to manipulate the situation. Don't try, well, I miss him, I want to know about him, so I am going to pretend that my washing machine broke so I can call him so that he can come and help me. I will tell him about my problem and then he will come. No, that's manipulation and lies. And do you know what? Men are highly allergic to manipulation and control. Because the last woman that tried to manipulate him and tried to control him, who was it?
Mommy.
Emily. And nobody wants to date their mothers. And he will see through you because everything that you're doing, his mother's done already. So he knows. He knows. He will see through you. So if you miss him, wait till he calls you. Get busy. Mind your own business. Take care of your life. Be in your feminine energy. Do not have your energy going upwards. Oh, what's he doing? No. Take care of yourself. This is about loving yourself first. Like my tip number 1, take care of you. You know, if you find yourself that you are like, oh, fantasizing, wake up and, get
Penny,
your house ready.
my dear, you're like a fairy godmother. But look, I know our time is running, and I would love to. We may have to even do a part
Our time is running out.
to do a part two. We may have to do a part two because we can't miss any of your tips.
Oh my God,
We're
Emily,
up to.
this is the story of my life. Time is running out. Girls, tip number 3.
Okay.
It's have boundaries.
Right.
Okay, so I am the biggest advocate of boundaries because I didn't even know this word. Like, first time I read that boundaries, actually I had to go and look it up on the dictionary. Like, what does this mean? And then I looked it up in the dictionary, and I was like, well, that seems a bit mean, you know, having boundaries. That's so mean. You know, me as an empath. I mean, but it's not mean, you know, you need your boundaries to survive. You need your boundaries to be happy. You
And
need
to
your
protect
boundaries
yourself.
to protect
Yeah.
yourself, isn't it?
Mm-hmm.
And it's very important. So what does boundaries in a relationship look like? So, for example, you know, these movies, like the girl, the guy calls the girl, and the girl is like all night talking on the phone with him, all night long, and it's so romantic in the movies. They look so nice. This is not romantic in real life because it shows that you have no life. It shows that you're too desperate. It shows that you want it too much. And it
Mm-hmm.
shows the guy that you have no boundaries. If you begin the relationship with long telephone calls until 5 a.m. with a guy, he's gonna want to do that for the rest of your relationship. He will take over your life, and then you'll end up like that woman that we were talking about at the beginning. You'll be a carcass of a woman. He'll suck the life out of you because we know everyone, you give them a little and they take the whole arm, right? And
Mm-hmm.
it wouldn't be his fault because it was your fault because you allowed him. You never had
Mm-hmm.
boundaries to begin with. So when you are dating and he calls you, hang up the phone 10 minutes later, gotta run. I'm jumping in the shower, need to finish my meal. I am cooking, I am working, gotta call a client. You know, I have a life. Gotta go. I'm too busy. I'm too important. And he will be left like, oh, you know, he'll be like, oh, I want to see her more. He'll be left wanting for more. This will appear very mysterious to him. Like, where is she going? Why doesn't she want to spend so much time like I want to spend so much time? This is also will allow you to pace the relationship and take things slow, because the more you talk to him, the more hormones that you release. And I can never remember the name of these hormones, but we women, when we feel close to someone, we release these bonding hormones, that they are feel good hormones. So when he calls us, the reason why we feel so good, oh, he's called me, it's because we release these hormones, and it's the same hormones that you release when you have a baby. So this is how strong the hormones are. But he does not release these hormones. He calls you, and you would just, you know, if he liked you a 4, after he's called you, he's still gonna like you a 4. But if you like him a 4, after he's called, you will like him a 5. And then you'll like him a 6. And then you'll go up to a 10. But he's still liking you a 4. Him calling him does not affect how much he likes you, how much he loves you, but it will affect you. So it's very important for women to keep their boundaries. Don't be texting all day long as well. Don't be on the phone all day long. When you go meet him, don't have these long dates and then you finish and then you go for drinks and then you go for a walk and you stay all night up. No, gotta go home, got a life. Got yoga in the morning. I always tell my girls, tell him you got yoga in the morning. And yes, this is a way to protect your heart, because he'll spend the whole night with you and you'll feel so in love by the end of the night, but he will not love you anymore because he spent all this time with you. He doesn't have all these hormones, going up in his head. And so he will not like you any extra, which I'll explain on my next tip. Which is, do not buy his love. Women, especially empath women, but all women in general, and you might see yourself here. Emily, tell me if you see yourself here. You feel like, oh well, I don't think he likes me too much. I'm gonna cook him a nice meal and then he will love me more. We always trying to do things for them so that they like you more and they love you more. because this is the way that you bought the love of your parents. When you are born, you love your parents unconditionally, and your parents will never love you the way that you love them, so you always feel like you need to buy their love. I'm going to be good. I'm gonna have very good grades in school, and I'm not gonna be late. I'm gonna eat all my food, and mommy will love me, and daddy will be happy with me. We do that, and what we cannot do is take that to our relationships. This is not the way that men will love you. The more nice you are with him, that will put you in doormat ground. It's very dangerous. So never buy their love, okay? So never pay for dinner. Let him pay, okay? Never do anything so that he loves you more. If he doesn't pay you enough attention, don't bake him a cake, you know? Let him come to you always. Bake the cake for yourself, for your neighbor, for your mother, but don't bake the cake for him, okay? Don't go clean his apartment. Don't travel to him, even if he has got a private jet, even if he's loaded and says, oh, my darling, I'm sending you the private jet. Come over here. I'll send you. Say, no, I'm too busy. If he wants to see you, he needs to get the private jet himself and come to see you. The same way, in like the same way, maybe you will feel more aligned with like guys saying, I'll send you an Uber. Don't. If he wants to see you, he needs to get the Uber himself and come to you. Men feel good when they invest in what they want, when what they want is a challenge. So if you deliver yourself to him, even if it's in a private jet, you will lose value in his eyes. So make him come to you. Let him get on that Uber or that jet and let him drive 5 hours to come and see you. They will drive 5 hours for a football match. So they can drive 5 hours to see you. Always let him come to you. And don't buy his love. Never buy dinner. Let him always buy dinner. Don't even pay for the coffee. Let him pay. If he wants to see you, he needs to treat you. He needs to work to get what he wants. And this will help him see you with, wow, this woman is a goddess. You need to be a goddess.
So does that mean that you never buy a gift? Like, okay, so now it's Valentine. You don't buy a gift for anyone? For girls. Okay, well, let's not forget Valentine's, but any time, like a gift, period.
There was a guy, there is a neighbor, right? So he actually is the guy that has a Facebook group for all the neighbors in where I live. And he is like a maintenance guy. So he has a van. Everybody knows which one is his van. So this woman like has a crush on him, and she started to buy gifts and putting them on his van. He will leave them by the wipers on his van. He got him flowers, he got him chocolates, all the gifts that a man would buy to a woman. But this was a girl, but he was like angry and embarrassed that a woman was doing this for him. He never felt flattered, like, oh, I want to meet this woman. He was like, please stop, you're embarrassing me. Because guys, we tend to think like, oh, because I love it, he's gonna love it too. But guys are guys. They don't feel romanced by chocolates and flowers. Valentine's Day was created to keep the woman happy, not to keep the guy happy.
Well, I guess what I really mean, like, say, it's someone that you are already connected to. It's not someone you're necessarily trying to attract, but you're already connected to that person, and it's a birthday or it's some kind of occasion, and you want to buy a gift for the person. So, are you saying you don't do that?
Okay, so you're single and you want to meet a guy. What's your end game? Do you want to get married?
No, is that a question? Is that rhetorical or is that Emily question?
I'm asking you. It's an Emily question. What do you want?
Well, I don't believe in this endless dating game thing, unless that's what people want to do with their lives. But I believe if you're going to dedicate time to someone, the goal should be to get married. Otherwise, what's the point? unless you just want to
And
just
this
play
is
around.
what
So,
every woman wants. Even those women watching saying, well, I don't want to get married. They want to get married. They maybe think that getting married is, too high of a dream, and they don't allow themselves to dream that they can get married. But secretly, all women want to get married. So if you want to get married, don't buy him anything. And when you are married, you can buy him things. But then again, don't buy him anything extravagant. Buy him very small gifts that are not expensive and they are not wishy-washy, like mushy. Don't buy him mushy stuff. Like just buy him socks. Guys are happy with socks. Buy him socks. You can buy him a mug, $10 kind of gift. Buy him a book. If he has hobbies, get him, like a football shirt from his favorite team, things like that. But don't, when you buy things to him, you're forcing him into his feminine energy. And to feel good, he needs to be in his masculine energy. And to be in his masculine energy, he needs to go do the hunting, find you the gifts, spend the money, and he needs to be doing the doing. So he needs to be gifting you to feel good about himself. And masculine energy likes to provide for his woman. And you as a single woman, you want to see who is the good provider or not. Even though that you plan to keep your career after you get married, you still want a guy that still has that natural instinct to provide. Because Emily, you might get pregnant, you might get sick. You don't want a guy in the sofa whilst you are working yourself out of your own health. You want a guy that is also ambitious, masculine, hard worker, and he has that in him. He has that natural instinct and he wants to provide for you. Someone who is generous with his time, with his money. He will share it with you. A lot of women, they're like marrying into these 50-50 relationships, which looks really good on paper, but it's never 50-50 because we always have more extra work. Because thanks to our empathy, guys can compartmentalize and they can disconnect and they can forget about this problem and focus on this problem instead. So, but if you have a sick child, you can never disconnect from that sick child. You cannot work worrying about your sick child. A guy can do that. And you need a guy that has got the good protecting, providing energy so that he can compartmentalize and say, right, so you take care of the child and I'll take care of business. I will keep the family afloat whilst we deal with whatever is happening in the background. Because we cannot disconnect. Doesn't mean that we cannot do it. We can do it. We can do it all. But if you're married to someone else, why would you want to do it all? He's supposed to help too. And this is his strength. So leave that to him and you follow your strength, which is your maternal instinct. You're going to take care of this child. You're going to make your child feel loved and protected and that he's going to get well and better, right? You're supposed to be a family and everybody has their job in the family. So it's very good when you marry the masculine energy guy, he will naturally do this. And some women say, oh, my husband don't love the child. No, he cannot afford to go, break down for the child. He needs to take care of business. And this will keep the balance of the family.
Interesting.
And everything, all the motors going, even though you're going through whatever you're going through, you might get pregnant. There might be a sickness in the family. Guys naturally are very good compartmentalizing and we can't. You will be here on live and you can't stop thinking of your child. It's impossible for a woman to do that.
Penny, just a quick interjection here. So, oxytocin was kindly shared with us. So, and Sophia, we have our two S's. Oxytocin is that bonding reproduction
hormone that we release.
right?
It's bonding hormone. Thank you.
And then She said cooking, Sophia said cooking is only for husbands. Amen, Sophia. Thank you. Only for the husband. That's right.
You
So
can
women give away too much, too much, too much. So what's tip number 5? Because I don't want us to not get our tip number 5.
Tip number 5, dress up and have fun. Okay. It also, dressing up helps your feminine energy when we are, shopping and taking care of ourselves and doing our hair, doing our makeup, and wearing beautiful dresses. This already put us naturally on our feminine energy. So you'll be, it will help you to be happy. But as I was saying earlier, men are very visual.
Ah, yeah.
So he will fall in love for all the amazing things that you are. But to get through here, you need to look good and you need to look feminine. So take care of your skin, wear dresses, accentuate, like there's all these things in the media, or with the porn industry. Guys are boob people or ass people, right? They're known. They couldn't care less. Okay. Men like this, the shape of a woman. That's what they are attracted. When they see this, they think childbearing hips.
Okay.
Attract him in a primal level, not in a visual sexual level.
What happened to the intellectual conversations? That's out the door.
So you cannot have an intellectual conversation with him if you don't look good enough for him to pick you out of a crowd.
Okay. There you go.
Right?
All
Wear
right.
color. Like especially if you're online dating, wear colors, because when he's swiping and everybody's wearing like they're naked or they're wearing black, you'll be like a flower.
Mm.
And men love colors on women. And wear red. Men are primarily attracted to red. Okay? So red or pink, but especially red. On your first date, wear red lips. Okay. Wear red tonight on Valentine's Day because everybody's wearing red. Today is the day to stand out wearing some other different color. But yeah, the rest of the days wear bright colors, and take care that the color goes well with your hair color and your skin tone, and it makes you look fresh and young and alive. Don't wear a color that is gonna make you feel drained and all that. And dress up, wear Spanx, and it doesn't matter how big your dress is here. It doesn't matter how full your skirt is, as long as he can see the shape of you. Like the song, he likes the shape of the woman. So it doesn't matter how big your boobs are. It doesn't matter how tight your ass is. It's not about that, okay? What they're attracted is about the feminine curves. If your hair, they like shiny hair because it's a sign of youth and it's a sign of health. So if you can have your hair long, maybe you need to grow your hair. If you
Well,
can
I
have,
had it longer.
you
I
don't
don't
have,
have enough.
you don't have to, but it will certainly help a lot, and it will help you feel like more girly.
Hold on, Penny. Put the brakes on. Put the brakes on for a second. So now, here's the thing. Okay. There's one thing to live for the man, and also have your own self. Like, if you like your hair short, why should you grow it long just because some man likes your hair long?
If you like it short, okay, and this is your way, this goes with your personality, and you feel beautiful, then that should be enough. But if you want extra help, okay, if you want to help yourself, you want to help your chances, have your hair long. I love wearing hair extensions, and they are so fashionable now, wearing hair extensions, and I'll have a lot of fun wearing hair extensions for dates.
And then take it out.
And then take them out, it'll be like Pretty Woman. The next day the wig was hanging out of the corner of the bed. He didn't care, did he?
But then again, you have to say this: if the man, if he's only interested in you, if you have long, shiny hair, or
No, no.
as I say,
Okay.
the Coke bottle figure, then what kind of empty man is this?
No, 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 no. He's not an empty man. He is a man. Okay.
Just a man.
The
Okay.
same you like your guys to be guys, right? He likes his woman to be a woman and to have the shape of a woman. This doesn't have to do with size, okay? Doesn't matter how big or small you are. Doesn't matter how big your boobs are, but he likes the shape of a woman. So when you're dressing up for a date, highlight that. Wear Spanx. I wear Spanx, you know. I'm not a skinny mini. So I wear Spanx and I feel great. I like to, wear your hair down and, have pretty makeup, put red lips on. This is very attractive to him, but it's not attractive in a sexual level. It's attracted to him in a primal level because the hair is a sign of youth. When you get old, what's the first thing you lose? Your hair goes shaped
Yeah.
and you go white, right? So get your hair done and have it shiny and healthy. As if your hair is healthy and shiny, and that have it highlighted or have it dyed, don't have grays. I know that the grays is very fashionable right now, but if you are dating, you shouldn't. Like, you can go gray afterwards once you got him in the bag. But
Poor
if you
guy.
want to attract a guy to you, right? It's not the guy that you're gonna go chase. This is the guy that's gonna come to you. So you need to look like something he wants to go chase after, right? And so take care of yourself, take care of your skin, wear high heels, wear nice dresses, and do anything that it takes to make you feel amazing. Okay. And this ties up with, go back to tip 1, love yourself, take care of yourself, and take care of your hair. You're not doing your hair and doing all this work for him. You're doing it for yourself because you are a self-loving woman. You are very high value and you take very good care of yourself. You've got this mental diet in your head that I'm amazing, I'm beautiful, I can do this, any man would be lucky to have me, right? And this translates in the way you dress, the way you move, the way you speak, your calm energy, your feminine energy is going inwards. It's not about the guy, it's all about you. So do anything that makes you feel beautiful and attractive, but not for him. Do it for you. For him, what you do is like the shiny hair, lovely skin, take care of your skin, wear makeup, lather yourself up in beautiful creams and lotions, and wear perfume, wear food. So wear perfumes like raspberries, vanilla, chocolate, coffee. Men are sexually attracted to these kind of edible smells.
Oh my God! Thank you for joining. Oh Lord, Penny, have mercy. So suppose you don't like it. Suppose you don't want to smell like a chocolate or coffee, like a Starbucks house. I mean, come on, that's not my style. Or someone's.
I always wear. I have, my favorite thing for every day. I wear Victoria's Secret Bare Vanilla, and when I sprayed it, all the guys at work, they say, "Oh, it smells like custard. Oh, it smells like cake. Oh, it smells like chocolate." Like they go wild, thinking, "Oh my God, what does this smell like?"
Okay.
They love it. So
No,
anything that
yeah.
it has an undertone of any fruit or vanilla or anything edible, they will feel very attracted to that.
Penny, we absolutely have to do a part 2. I'm telling you, we do, because I think you're just kind of getting started now. But it's really fascinating. But I really think it goes back to like you said initially. Taking care of yourself exudes this because you're doing it for yourself already, and the fringe benefit is that others get to enjoy it. But You did it for yourself.
Yeah.
And I think if you just do it only with the intention of getting somebody or attracting someone, I think you lose yourself all over again. So
So
you really
exactly.
have to understand the difference, and I know you've done a really great job of explaining those levels, and I really can't thank you enough, because you really put the spotlight on some really important things to even see ourselves differently, and how we relate to others. So I know there's a lot more where that came from. So tell Penny, let us know how people can find you, your group, how they can follow you, you know
You want to learn
connect
more
with you.
tips? Follow me.
It's,
I will put my handle
you
is Penny Love Certified Love Coach, and or follow me, I will send you my handle. Join my group Shine On with Penny Love, Love, Dating and Relationships.
okay.
You can also, if you like taking this seriously, like, oh wow, I really like this, I really want to learn more from Penny, definitely join my Love School, which is a subscription, and it's only $29.99 per month, so it's like £1 a day.
Wow.
And I deliver a love theme related theme every month. So there is like anything from 5 to 10 videos every month. We do like a Q&A every month. We have a group party where we all join on a Zoom call. And tonight we're having a Valentine's party in my group. So that's why I can't stay for your party, Emily, because I
Mhm.
have a Valentine's party
Yeah.
in my membership group with all
Right.
my girls. Because like most of us are in lockdown in England, so we can't
Right.
even date right now. But you guys in America, you're all good to go now, so you can put all those tips to practice straight away. And what else? What else? You can follow
But
me
you
on
know what? No, no, no. Go ahead. On Instagram as well. Okay.
Instagram. Is Coach Penny Love, and everybody is welcome. If you want more love
Abs-
in your life, but you want the love where you are the gift, you are the prize. You're not making him the end all be all, but he
Mhm.
will make you his end all be all. I mean, it's
Uh-huh.
the beauty of it, and you will truly feel loved and cherished, which is what every woman wants.
Mhm.
Okay.
That's beautiful, beautiful. You know what? You remind me of the movie Gigi, where the aunt who is training Gigi how to get all, as you said, lathered and all smell all sweet, and how to be a lady and how to sit down to attract the man. So I'm kind of thinking of that movie as I listen to you.
I
But
am
you're
going to
actually,
look up that movie tonight.
oh, you would love that movie. Oh, with oh, what's her name? Oh,
It
yeah, yeah,
rings a bell, but I can't think of it right now.
yeah, Gigi with
She was
Maurice Chevalier and oh Lord, Charles Jourdain. Okay, and I forget the lady's name,
the
but anyway, you'll
Introvert
find.
was the French guy.
Yeah. Hmm.
Okay, I'm going to look it up tonight.
You'll like that movie a lot. But that's great. To just to personal culture, moral beliefs, and the overarching message is quite helpful. Thanks, Benny. Okay, yes, thanks, Sophia. Thanks everybody for watching. Nana, dating is strategic. Play the game and you will win. It's important not to confuse your dating life and business life, Sophia. Thank you guys for all the comments in the chat. We'll definitely go back and look at them. I want to thank you all for watching today. Thank you, Penny, for these most
Welcome.
intriguing
Thank you for
tips.
having me, Emily.
Yes, I
We
appreciate
go
it.
way over the time, but this is
I know we have. This was an extra special Valentine's special. So let me not hold you up, because I know you need to go. But you guys, I'll be here next week to Tuesday. What am I here? Sunday, next Sunday. Also in my Facebook group, Supercharged with Emily, I'll be doing my masterclass Monday. So I'm gonna visit some of the tips from Penny and some other insights to share. And Penny has a bonus tip that I will share in the clubhouse
oh,
or on our page, right, Penny?
yes.
So I'm
You're
gonna
going
I'm gonna
to
huh?
I'll give you a refresher later on. But I also want to say, because I'm sharing this interview in my group, so if
Yes.
you have got any Penelope followers in the Shine On group that are female entrepreneurs, you definitely want to follow Emily Mchugh and join her Supercharge with Emily group, which is amazing. And you will not regret it, ladies. She might teach you a thing or two.
Oh, that's so sweet, Penny. Thank you so much for that and for sharing this with your group as well. I'm so thrilled to have them, all the lovely ladies, connect and be with us today, and really appreciate their time, and wish you all again a happy Valentine's Day, and just
Happy Valentine's,
love
everyone.
yourself and love the
Thank
world.
you.
Okay, bye. See you guys next week.